Okay, my name is Peter Lane, and I'm the Director of Development for the Delta Chi Educational Foundation, and I am joined by my friend Travis Covey here from the New Mexico State Chapter 2003. Travis is a Board of Directors member on the Delta Chi Educational Foundation. He's going to sit down and tell you a little bit about his Delta Chi story and some things he's excited about with the foundation these days. So Travis, you've been involved in Delta Chi for a long time. You graduated from school just a little bit before I joined Delta Chi, so we're nearing the same age, but you've done a lot with our organization. Tell us a little bit about your Delta Chi experience starting out. Why did you join? Who were the guys that you joined with, and kind of, what's that story like?
Absolutely. Peter, thanks for having me. I'd love to do it. My Delta Chi story began in New Mexico State in that fall of 98, and I had no idea really what fraternities were. I didn't have anybody in my family who joined a fraternity. I didn't have any really sort of understanding of what it was. I saw a flyer or a pamphlet, and it said, here's rush fraternities, and here's why you should, and it had a list of facts about how many presidents had been, fraternity men, and how many senators and doctors and lawyers. And I said, well, that sounds like good numbers to me. I want to go, see what this is all about. And I had ended up, I just followed the list. The first one was on there was another fraternity, and I went to it, and I was like, okay, this is all right. And then I saw the next one on the list was this Delta Chi thing, right? And but I didn't know where it was. It says Delta Chi, but it was like at the Chi Omega house. Huh. And I said, oh, that's confusing me. I don't understand. So I went by the Greek life office because that's where it said to go for any questions. And this guy was there, and he said, you need to. Here's the other ones that are going on tonight, but you need to go to this Delta Chi one. And he was like, he didn't have any letters on. Everybody in the office was there, this Greek life office, and he said, but you need to go to this one. And I said, oh, okay. And he's like, this one's at this one. I said, what about these other ones? He said, well, this one's here, this one, that one's at the, you go out this way, and it's at the Chi Omega house. And I didn't know what Chi Omega was. I was like, another fraternity? I didn't know. And I walked in, and I got there, and I walked in or up to the house, and these guys were all playing volleyball at this sand volleyball pit. And I'm looking around, and I figured out this is a sorority house, and these guys are so cool that they're having their event at the sorority house. I was like, that's awesome. And I didn't know it's because we didn't have a house of their own at the time, right? But they're having this event, and I was like, okay, this is cool. The other guys, they didn't have that; they were just doing it on their own. I was like, these guys are here with all these girls. These must be the coolest dudes on campus, right? And pretty soon, I'd been there for a while, and all of a sudden somebody's like, hey, Travis, I didn't know anybody. I just met these people. And all of a sudden this guy goes from behind, he's like, Travis, hey, Travis. And I turn around, it was that guy, of course.
From the Greek Life office?
Yeah, from the Greek Life office, Jeff McAdoo. And I didn't know it at the time, but he's like, hey, and he comes over, he's like, I didn't realize that he was in his neutral capacity, right, at the time, but he made sure I got over to that house. And so that was my first introduction, and at that meeting, I met a lot of people that are still my friends, two of which are here, today at this event, and
That's really neat.
And I've been, in both of their weddings. They've both been in mine, and we make it regular events multiple times a year with each other, and godfather to one of their sons, and godfather to one of mine. Yeah. And it's been a wild, crazy ride, but it's been awesome.
Now the friendship has really kept you heavily involved, and it is neat. You guys are like a pack that go places, but you're always at conventions together. You have the three of you have really invested time and energy and treasure into the Delta Chi Educational Foundation. But beyond just the tight-knit friendship that you have with those guys, what's kept you involved in this organization? And I should say, Travis has moved all over the country, and you're in the military, and you're not in the same state or town as these guys, but it keeps you connected. I see you've got your Men of War pin on there, and you've got I can't remember, what is this one here?
That's the Board of Directors.
The Board of Directors key.
Yeah.
That's right, for the foundation, and then the Trustee Society pin. What's kept you involved in the organization?
It's the people, Peter. you said I've been all over the country one time or another. From Virginia to California to North Carolina, back to Virginia, and every place I've been. I mean, I went to law school. I was in Oklahoma, and I joined the ABT of a colony there. And when I went to California, I spent some time as a vice regent and joined an ABT and went to RLCs in Region 2 and went to North Carolina and I joined an ABT and went to RLC. So and I'm doing some of that stuff now with chapters and trying to visit and help out as much as I can. And every time I've gotten to meet students, that are men now that are going through, and I run into guys now at convention that I met when I was in California with an ABT, or in Oklahoma when I was there, and it's pretty awesome to see. I mean, it's cross generational, right? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't matter. Like I'm best friends with the guys here, but I'm friends with people all over the place. When I'm talking to people in my capacity, my job, and they're like, "Oh, I went to Northern Arizona for school," and I was like, "I know some guys from Northern Arizona," or yeah, my son's thinking about going to Virginia Tech. Well, let me know if he does because I know some guys at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Right. So
absolutely.
it's pretty awesome to have that.
That's really great. Now you joined the board of directors recently, and it was last year, 2019, just beginning of the year, 2019. You were elected to the board of directors, and tell everyone a little bit about what it means to be on the board of directors, and why this is something you were really excited to do, and educate people a little bit.
So just like all the other things, I mean, it's important to me to give back. I think if you're I always have to ask myself, how much do I believe in something, right? And I believe in it. If I believe in it, I gotta put my money where my mouth is. Whether that's actual money, whether that's my time, my experience, my help in any way I can.
Sure.
I'm trying to do that. And with the board is one of the, working with the chapter, of course, is obvious. Working with the foundation, I think, is not necessarily obvious to folks. They don't always realize. I mean, as an undergraduate, you almost have no experience sometimes with the board directors. You look in the cornerstone, you read the chapter, like that's pretty neat. If you go to convention, you see these stickers, and that's pretty neat. Maybe you have lunch and you meet people and you see the stuff, but you don't necessarily know all that goes into it and how important it is. And as I grew up and started maturing and going to these events and maturing in my Delta Chi experience, I go, that's where we need to focus our efforts. And so joining the board, initially as a committee member and becoming a director is exactly where I would like. That's where I can do the most good for the most people across the spectrum.
Well, and I should say that you are the chairman of the Young Alumni and Undergraduate Committee. So if any of the students or young alumni are watching this, then you are the person that they should reach out to if they've got ideas about how to advance the organization. You're all about that sort of thing.
Absolutely. That committee is designed specifically to bring undergraduates or young alumni, recently graduated, into the foundation in a meaningful way, to allow them to get involved and help us, because quite frankly, we're not the young alumni
not anymore.
So this is an opportunity for us to use them and learn from them in order to reach out to those that they may have a better way of speaking to than us. And that's what the committee does.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that. So in closing here, tell us a little bit about what are the things you're excited about with the foundation and Delta Chi moving forward.
So I'm always excited about the stuff we're doing with the committee, right? So
yes.
We've already mentioned that. I'm really excited about we're operating on a higher level than this board is. From the first time I went to a foundation meeting till now, we're really, I think, starting to blossom into a sort of a high functioning machine. And as we mature the endowment, as we mature some of the programs we've got going on, I'm really excited to see where this goes in the next couple of years, because I think we're getting more people involved than ever before, and that sort of commitment is gonna cause us to sort of that, I think as you said, the flywheel effect, right?
Yes.
That's gonna be really important, and everybody out there can help with that, and that's exciting.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and taking some time with us here, and thank you for all that you've done to help advance Delta Chi.
Thank you, Peter.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome.